Hello, my name's Alison Nicol and I'm the manager of Innovator, BRE's innovation network. We've been funded by the Knowledge Transfer Network to carry out a series of interviews exploring innovation within the sector. Today we're meeting Sam Stacey, Head of Innovation at Skanska. Skanska are emerging as one of the UK's leading innovators in the built environment.
Skanska recognises that in order to stay competitive, we have to keep improving, we have to keep staying up with the latest technology in construction. And more than anything, our customers are demanding it of us now. Our customers are getting much more specific in terms of asking what our innovation capability is and how we're going to innovate on their projects. There's a lot of ways in which we approach innovation. The first thing I did when I came in to Skanska was to understand what our existing capability and our existing performance was. And one of the ways of doing this was to survey all the activities that are going on that would classify as R&D or innovation. Another thing we wanted to do in relation to innovation was to mobilise the workforce, make sure that we gave a voice to the about 5,000 people who work for Skanska in the UK, such that if they've got great ideas, they can communicate them, they can share them, and an infrastructure is in place to take these ideas forward. And we approached this through the setting up of a KTP, a Knowledge Transfer Partnership with Reading University. So we've got a person from Reading University who's come into our organisation for a period of 2 years, and he sits with us in our head office, and he's developed an online ideas capture and exchange system, ideas app we call it. It's a mobile solution, and we've put in place processes to select and develop the ideas that come through that system. And now this has become a wonderfully well integrated capability within the UK, and everybody's aware of this system. If they've got ideas, they feed it into this system. People can comment on their ideas, they can like each other's ideas, and it gives us a very vibrant innovation community within Skanska, and really generates a sense that right across the organisation, Skanska is interested in innovation and has the tools and mechanisms in place to support innovation. Another example of the innovation that we pursue in Skanska was to look at the opportunities for grant funding of innovation across the UK and beyond, and in particular to collaborate with external organisations such as the BRE and universities and other companies to work together to produce solutions to the problems that us and ourselves and our customers face in relation to the built environment. And I'm very pleased to say we've been very successful in relation to that. We've got quite a portfolio of grant-funded projects underway at the moment. That is a subject, I would say, that covers everything from collecting data about what we're installing to the capturing and sharing of information that's relevant to people. So at one end of the spectrum, we've got research projects ongoing to do condition-based maintenance of our buildings, whether that's the M&E plant or the health of the concrete structures, collecting data about the buildings, thereby getting messages about the condition and thereby being incredibly efficient about how we attend to the problems that might be emerging in relation to a piece of equipment or a structure. Then at the other end of the spectrum, there's the whole knowledge management side of things, which is a very fast-moving area in any industry, knowledge management. Google has obviously emerged as a tremendous way to access information quickly, and you can do it from any kind of mobile device. And we're integrating our systems with Google Search Appliance, which is the in-house version of Google, and the Ideas app, which I mentioned before, which is our ideas capture and implementation tool. And using these platforms to make sure that everybody's got access to just the information they need at the right time in a convenient way. These tools will enable people to innovate much more quickly, to share solutions a lot more easily, and I think it will raise the overall level of innovation within the industry, possibly at a rate that will surprise a lot of people. I think there are barriers that exist within the construction industry, which are just the boundary conditions that one has to work within. So without doubt, there are regulatory barriers that one has to be aware of. There are client constraint barriers or client priority barriers that one has to be aware of. So when we're building buildings, we need to be 100% sure that we're producing things that are exactly what the client wants and that we're not incurring risk on behalf of the client. So we exist within that framework. Now, with regards to developing our capabilities, clearly there are funding constraints, and that's something that any innovator has to deal with. So we have to be efficient about how we invest in innovation. The sources of grant funding that I mentioned earlier are tremendously helpful in relation to assisting the business case for innovation. And the tax rebates for investments in R&D are another incentive. So I would say the UK government and indeed the European Commission are very supportive of innovation activities within industry, and that's something that one can use to overcome the funding barriers. So yes, there are barriers, but we have ways to overcome those barriers, and I don't feel heavily constrained by the barriers that exist. It's about system integration. A main contractor uses designs from a wide range of disciplines, so that's M&E or architecture, engineering and so on. So you've got diverse inputs, you've got an enormous range of suppliers and installers that are involved in creating a building, and we have to integrate all that. So a main contractor needs to think about innovation in that context. And really that's about developing the understanding and awareness and infrastructure to enhance innovation within the organisation. So in the case of Skanska, what I've done is I've set up networks across the organisation. So each part of the organisation has an innovation representative who knows their customers and can talk about their customer specific needs, and knows the suppliers that they typically use in relation to delivering for customers, and can work with all those parties in a collaborative way to find solutions. And then from the point of view of the core innovation department, we need to upskill all the people involved in innovation, and we need to bring in specialist partners that we know, such as academia and developers of specific solutions, to provide the answers to the challenges that are faced. So the construction industry is, as I say, very complex. You've got tiers of supply chain, and all the tiers need to understand the framework within which they're operating. So I think collaboration is the main lesson, the main message. The different tiers in the supply chain, the different people need to liaise very carefully with other people with whom other organisations with whom they need to interact. In order to innovate appropriately. So whether it's in relation to building information modelling, they might need to be providing data in a particular format that other partners can use. If it's in relation to products, they need to take on board the other trades that are going to connect with them. So if it's a piece of roofing, the roofing will interface with the cladding or with the drainage systems and so on. And they need to innovate in the context of their collaboration and interface with other organisations. The next challenge is industrialising the construction sector. And an absolutely vital thing in relation to that is the ability for a diverse range of organisations to work effectively together to achieve that. One of the things that we've been looking at is the establishment of an off-site manufacturing school for the construction industry to upskill a wide range of suppliers in this area.